on the show, the stars of the new movie The Intern, all about a trendy company that hires an elderly assistant. Intern, my wine, please. Thank you very much. This isn't chilled. It's not chilled. But it's good. Thank you very much. Let's start the show! It's a full house tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. That's right, Robert De Niro on the show, starring in a new film as an old man out of his depth in a new job. Does that ever happen in real life? Why, yes, it does. New Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn. An old man with a beard. I like him. I do. Yeah. Well, it's not just policies from the 1970s, clothes as well. Stunning. I don't know if you heard, but after all that scandal about David Cameron and the dead pig, you know that story? Well, a photograph's emerged of the night Jeremy Corbyn joined the North London Vegan Society. Pumpkin-y. Let's get some guests on! Later, real-life music from British country duo The Shires. But first, one of our finest stage actors who became a movie idol as Marvel's villainous Loki. He's now starring in the new gothic horror film Crimson Peak. It is Mr. Tom Hiddleston! There he is! Hello! You're very welcome! Hi! Tom Hiddleston! One of the great actor-directors of our time and about to lead a new season of plays at London's Garrick Theatre. He is a true knight of the stage and screen. It's Kenneth Branagh! She went from Brokeback Mountain to The Devil Wears Prada and won an Oscar for extraordinary performance as Fantine in Les Miserables. It is Anne Hathaway, everybody! Lovely to see you! And starring with Anne in new hit comedy, The Intern, he is the raging bull, the deer hunter, the good fellow, the godfather of American cinema. It's a very warm welcome back to Robert De Niro! Everybody. Hello. Hi. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. First time.
Yes, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you for having me.
No, very nice to see you all. And now, before I say anything, Robert, is it fashion, cold, what is it?
No, I'm playing Bernie Madoff, and so I have the hat because I've shaved my head in a certain way.
Oh, and it's on site.
Not a big deal.
Yeah. Oh! That's really good. Right? Are the long hairs fake?
This is all real.
That's clever, though, isn't it?
These are real, too.
Wow, that's smart. Now, Bob, you sort of link our whole sofa. Everyone's linked to you in various ways. Tom is as simple as you're just an enormous fan, aren't you?
I am, yes. I should declare it now.
What's your favourite? Did you get to say hello at the
Well, I said a quick hello, yeah, but...
Yeah. Did a little bit of wee come out?
I managed to keep that together.
Well done. Do you have a favourite film?
I do have a favourite film, which many people probably know is I loved Heat. I loved the performance in it. And this is truly remarkable for me to be sitting on this sofa with these people who have inspired me from when I was very, very young.
Oh, you're welcome to.
Jane and Hathaway. The other connections are more obvious. Obviously, Anne and Bob, you're in a movie, the new movie, The Intern, together.
Yeah.
And I hear, though, you have been spreading misinformation about Bob.
I'm so sorry about this. Yes, I didn't mean to, but I made the world believe that Robert De Niro is a fan of The Bachelor. And as it turns turns out it was my mistake, and he was being sarcastic in an email where he was told that we were, one of our trailers or something was premiering in front of The Bachelor, and Nancy said, Bob, I know you're such a fan. And Bob said, you bet your ass I'm a fan of The Bachelor. And I was like, this is such good goss. And then I stupidly told a journalist about it, and now Bob has had to answer non-stop questions for this entire press tour about what a fan of The Bachelor is, what's his favorite season, what does he think of the rose ceremony.
Have you ever even seen it?
No.
Do you watch any TV or any reality?
Not too much, just the news.
So if you were in London on a Friday night, if you weren't on this show, would you ever see it?
This show I'd watch.
Good answer. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Proud people. And then, of course, the other obvious connection is Kenneth. Of course, you acted and directed with Bob in Frankenstein.
Yeah.
How long? That's a while ago now.
Yeah, 20 years ago. Yeah.
No, is that 20 years ago?
20 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, long time.
Wow. And do you direct Bob, or do you just kind of like? Whatever you fancy.
It was interesting. Well, no, you don't really. It was a kind of a conversation, wasn't it? It was a collaboration. It did extend a long way through prep. I've never seen anybody, well, apart from this one, be so detailed in terms of the preparation. But seriously, in a good way. I mean, just people, they do take their work kind of seriously. Do you remember there was, because the character of the creature was assembled from lots of other human body parts, you decided, I think, that he would have one leg shorter than the other, and so the process of finding footwear that would allow you to walk in a sort of limping kind of fashion. I remember spending a whole day with you. You were walking up and down on a sort of catwalk, and we were experimenting with, like, one baseball boot, one roller skate, to have different kind of height. So then you started to do that kind of thing. And then there was, like, that kind of bouncy thing that you can have.
That people have, it's sort of a... I see it from time to time in Central Park.
So we went through, and there were so many various... And then it was like, for scene 1, I'll have the size 8 on the baseball boot, I'll have size 10 on the thing, but with the block. And by the end of the day, there was a grid on the wall with just the different shoe sizes and types of shoes to just map out how you might walk for the whole of the movie. The costume department will kind of boss out by the end of the day. But it was an example of just, that's a bit of a detail that maybe nobody notices, but you have to get to it somehow. And in this case, it was a day of incredible footwear choices. And
you're not just directing; you're also in it. And is it true that the first scene you acted in together was the famous birth scene?
Well, it was where the two characters came together, if you'll pardon the expression, and it was inside a 1-ton vat of KY jelly. It wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
Now we can't forgive the expression.
Yeah, exactly. You may find. But it was replicating amniotic fluid as if he was birthed, and so we had to. That's where the body finally emerges, and where we find a way to get to know each other, and we got together over a whole lot of lube.
Well, let's remind ourselves of the scene. Here it is. And that, you're in some sort of... Yeah, round of applause for that. You're in some sort of suit.
Yes, yeah, it's sort of a whole suit that took a lot of time to get into.
Do you know what your call was? That it was 2 a.m. the previous night, because it was completely sewn in, everything and everywhere. All openings were attended to, well, they were.
If you'll pardon the
expression. And they were sewn or stuck by a group of highly trained operatives who were prepared to go into those places, and they did. You were very patient with that, weren't you?
Yeah. No.
But then your hands must have ended up in some of those places, slipping
Well,
aside.
it does get everywhere when you do that. You've probably found it yourself when in that kind of situation.
Yes. No, but it's weird you talk about it like that, because it hasn't really struck me that it is quite...
It's homoerotic.
Yes, it is a little. Let's just watch it again with that in mind.
exactly how we should have done it.
All right. Let's talk about Bob and Anne Hathaway's new movie. It's The Intern, and it's a really charming, warm, lovely. It's a comedy, but it's not a romantic comedy. But it's a comedy. It's a lovely comedy.
Thank you.
Even I almost said romantic comedy, then I realized, oh no, it's not a romantic comedy.
No, spoiler alert, we don't hook up in the movie. Not like that, anyway. but it is a love story, in a way,
yes,
about an unexpected friendship between our characters.
And it's written and directed by Nancy Myers, who films like What Women Want, and it's complicated. And in this film, so The Intern, you're the boss.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
The big, tough boss.
That's me.
Yeah, well, actually, you're not that tough. Oh, you're quite a nice boss.
Tough when I need to be easy.
Yeah, all right, yeah. And then you are the intern.
Yes.
So you've had a whole life, you retired, and then you decided to go back into the workplace.
Yes, I decided to go back, and I saw this sort of flyer for interns, and I think in the flyer explains older interns, I think.
That's correct.
And yeah, so then I do a video sort of interview describing myself and so on, and that's it. You know, talking about everything that I've missed or that I thought I might enjoy as a retiree and also a widower. And then finally, there's something missing in my life, and so this seems to be, could potentially be an answer to that, being part of this whole thing, this young company, and there it is.
And it's fascinating watching you play this part, because Ben, he's got a low status, really, for most of the film. And he's a lovely man. He's just a lovely, lovely man.
Yeah.
Is that hard to play? Kind of...
Would I have preferred to beat somebody up or shoot somebody? I asked Nancy Myers if I could do that. And I asked Anne.
I was full support.
We just, one of the interns.
I thought we could have gone on a lamb together.
Yeah. Kind of movie.
Different film.
And I wondered, Anne, have you been in enough movies now where stepping onto the set with Robert De Niro isn't intimidating?
Haven't, no.
Okay.
I was pretty nervous before we started this one. But, and I don't mean to name drop, but Julie Andrews was good prep, and Meryl Streep was very, very good prep. And when I worked with Meryl, I was so awed by her. I was so, I couldn't get over it. I was such a fan the entire time that I feel like I missed out on the experience working with her. Like, I was too scared to talk. I don't know if it was the character, I don't know if it was Meryl, combination of the two. So this time I decided that I wasn't going to let my fan worship of Bob this is so awkward talking about this while you're right next to me, but stand in the way of having a great time. So I would do my freakouts at home and then show up and just be like, hey, we're working together today, what are you doing? Drinking a coffee, that's cool. It's very cool, and it worked, and we had a great time.
Let's go to, this is a clip of the two of you together in The Intern. This is Robert's character giving Anne some reassurance before a big meeting.
Oh, thanks, but you don't have to. I can open the door. Okay, so this shouldn't take more than an hour, but if you can't stay here, I'll call Becky, and then she'll find you, and then you can just pull up.
Don't worry. I'll be here.
I think I forgot to eat today.
Should I pick you up some sushi?
No, I eat too much mercury. I'll be fine. I'm good. I'm actually kind of nauseous, so...
Oh.
May I say something really fast? Sitting between these three storied thespians, especially the two on my left, I have never been more aware of the fact that when I act, I sound like a chipmunk on helium.
Stop that now, this minute.
No. Fine, I will.
Yes.
You say so, I will.
And by the way, I should say The Intern opens tonight, all over the country. So don't go see it right now, but you can see it
Tonight?
Tonight.
Saturday?
No, next.
I got it. Right.
I was acting.
Very good.
Robert De Niro believed me.
Very truthful.
And now this is weird, I think. Can it be true that here you are, Anne Hathaway, Oscar winner, and yet reading about it, you say you auditioned for this film?
Yes, I did.
That can't be right.
I mean, it happens. Just, I don't have to do it every time, but, you know, sometimes if there's a hesitation in the director's mind, yeah, I got it.
Nancy Myers, what is she?
But she's not happy that I'm telling people that I auditioned for it. She's like, no, just say I was... I'm like, Nancy, I'm proud of the fact that I auditioned. This is my 3rd time auditioning for her.
What, you did? She didn't give you things?
2 other times, yeah. So I was really excited.
Because I was watching the speech you gave at the Tisch School of the Arts. You gave a kind of graduation speech.
Yes.
And in that, you were talking about that even you know, you got recall of your first, was it Bang the Drum Slowly, your first kind of big movie?
In some ways, yes.
But big for you. But
Yeah,
they tortured you with the number of auditions.
Well, I auditioned 7 times. First for the director for the first one part, and then the part I finally got later for about 2, 3 times, then 4 times or so for the second part for the director, the producer and his wife. It was a whole thing. But you know, as an actor, sometimes that does happen, and you just gotta not take it personally and just keep going.
And the speech was great that you gave to the students at Tisch. And the nice people at Tisch have allowed us to show just a little clip. So imagine, here you are, you're a young arts graduate, aspiring to a, you know, creative life in the arts, and oh my God, here is Robert De Niro. What profound words of encouragement will he give us? Here we go.
Dean Green, deans, university leadership, faculty, staff, parents, friends, and the 2015 class of New York University's Tisch School of the Arts. Thank you for inviting me to celebrate with you today. Tisch graduates, you made it. And you're fucked.
The parents were thinking, but we spent so much on this. It's sort of true. It's good that you were telling them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because in other words, Tom.
Yes.
You auditioned for Ken.
I did many times.
Yeah. But particularly, I'm talking about Thor, when you were getting Loki, which kind of changed your life.
It did, yeah. My life has changed thanks to this man.
Yeah.
It is, and it's a pleasure to be sitting with him on your sofa.
Is that where the Hiddlestoners came from Loki?
That's a whole other world I don't know about.
You know all about the Hiddlestoners.
You know, they're very sweet, mostly benign. And yeah, there's a few of them.
And then the Hiddlestoners get Hiddleboners. This all comes from him, not me. I'm not making this. This is him.
I don't know. I've never. That's something I've not. I haven't put that out into. If you'll pardon the expression, I haven't extended that into the. No, they're generally, you know, they're generally. I find myself lost for words.
Okay.
They're sweet and benign, and they're fans, and yeah.
No, you are fabulous as Loki. Absolutely brilliant. But apparently, you originally auditioned. No offence is meant by my incredulity here.
That's all right.
But you originally auditioned for Thor.
Yep.
Did you encourage him to do that, Ken?
It was a very sort of brilliant kind of pitch for the part. I mean, he'd come in and wowed the room as Loki and as Thor. We were an emerging and evolving script that was always changing. But fair play to Tom, he just went for it.
In the end, Ken, why did you go with this then? In the end. Was it the longer hair? Was it?
I think it was the hair. I think it was really the...
That's my brother from another mother.
Yeah, you know, Thor.
Yeah.
Oh, Thor.
Chris Hemsworth is made out of genetically modified material. He wouldn't mind my saying that. He's a sort of genetic anomaly, I think.
I was a bit embarrassed when we came to do the scene in the movie where he takes his shirt off. I just felt a little uncomfortable talking about the sort of how we would do it, and I felt as though, well, maybe he'll feel that he shouldn't or couldn't, or it's a bit whatever. So I remember going to see him that morning, saying, look, you know, it would be, I think it might be good if you get your shirt off, but you may be feeling... He said, of course I'm going to get my bloody shirt off, mate. I've been training for 9 months for this fucking thing. All right, get your shirt off.
Oh, now, we must turn to Kenneth Branagh. Because you're at the Garrick for a year.
For a year, yeah.
But for a whole year.
Yeah.
Is it 5 plays you're doing?
We are, yeah.
Which is a huge undertaking.
It is, but it's exciting because we have Dame Judi Dench starring in the first one, which is The Winter's Tale.
Very good. That opens on the 17th of October.
It does indeed. That's a very beautiful play about, you know, jealousy and redemption and some sheep shearing as well.
Wow.
You can't do a play without sheep shearing. And we also do a couple of plays by Terence Rattigan. Zoe Wanamaker's in one, an amazing half-hour one-woman show, which is about a dangerous woman alone at night with a bottle of whiskey and a bag of secrets.
Oh, my goodness. I like that. They're going to book that.
She's fantastic. And we also do just an out-and-out comedy in a play called Harlequinade, which takes the mickey in a sweet way about actors, and it's about a theatre troupe putting on The Winter's Tale and led by a megalomaniac. So we're looking for inspiration for that one.
Listen, I'll tell you what, you've put together a really beautiful sort of little teaser of what's in store.
Thank you.
Comfort that I have had of thee.
Lord, sovereign sir, I did not well. I meant well.
Isn't that lovely? Really beautiful. And what's the advantage for you of doing it for a year, putting it all together? Is it because you have a repertory of actors?
Yeah, people get to be in more than one play, and I think actors... So, for instance, in these first 3 plays, lots of people are in 2 plays, so it's nice to see Zoe Wanamaker be very funny in one and very dramatic in another, I hope, I think. And to see also people like Judi Dench, who I've now worked with for over 30 years, and that kind of rapport, that acting rapport, you hope, you know, comes into play, and she's a master. It's just to see a master at work like that is really an eye-opening thing. Plus, she's a beautiful person. It's a great sort of opportunity to be in the presence of somebody great. And at 80 years old, to give her in Shakespeare to a West End audience, not only in the theatre, but we do a cinema broadcast on November the 26th so that people around the world can see it live that night as well.
Because when you were doing Renaissance all those years ago, you got Judi Dench to direct...
Much Ado About Nothing.
Much Ado About Nothing. But you imagine that, you know, Kenneth Branagh, very confident, you know, you're putting together these things, but apparently you were incredibly nervous asking her.
Yeah, I mean, 3 days. Have you ever done this? I mean, I was a bit like that with you. 3 days with Judy of planning the phone call, of planning the casual phone call. When you ring up, hi, Judy, so... Hi, Judy, so how's it going? It's Ken here, yeah. Oh, are you... Well, if it's... And I've written it all down. Oh, are you free? Oh, no, that's fine. Oh, well, I could call again. I've got that one. I got 6 versions of the phone call there in case, I don't know, she's in the kitchen or something. Just terrified. Hand, you know, like it was the old days, so the trembling hands, just, you know, using the phone and everything. And, I mean, and then once you get to know people, it's different, but it's amazing. And, like, meeting this, you know, the first time I literally saw my name next to his on a piece of paper that said we were going to do a piece of work together, I started to cry. It's just... Well, because, you know, this guy, you know, this is another master. This is a guy, we kiss the hem of his garment. You know, he's a master. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. There you go.
And Bob, you know, as Tom was saying, you know, I think a lot of young actors, they revere you, so they look to you. But the other thing you inspire is impressions, people doing impressions. Now, when people do impressions of you, is it like sort of nails on a chalkboard, or do you kind of enjoy it?
No, I kind of enjoy it, especially if they do it well. So, no, it's great. I love it.
I only ask. No, because any Hiddlestoners watching will know Tom Hiddleston does impressions. You do impressions of lots of people. So who is in your canon?
It's a expression of admiration, just to be clear. So I do impressions of people that I admire, and I sort of listen to them. The first time I did an impression that anyone was aware of, I was just telling a story about Midnight in Paris, the Woody Allen film I was in, and how I'd never read the whole script, and I thought it was set in the 20s. And I turned up and I bumped into Owen Wilson, who didn't look like he was in the 20s at all. And I said to him, so wait, hang on, who are you playing? Because I'm playing F. Scott Fitzgerald, and I know Corey Stoll's playing Ernest Hemingway, and we're all playing figures of history. And he went, oh, no. I'm from now. I go back in time. There's a time machine. And, it's kind of cool, and it's kind of Woody, and you just kind of, it's kind of awesome.
Very good.
I've been made to do impressions of my fellow Avengers. I think everyone does an impression of Christopher Walken, because he's such an easy kind of... You know, I feel like what this show needs is more cowbell. It depends on what you like me to say. Basically, there's no punctuation. Anything that comes out of my mouth. I know whole pages of Heat.
You surprised me.
So there's the scene in the middle of the film, which you'll be familiar with. You were there.
The one person you don't need to explain it to.
So he remembers.
You're very good in this.
He remembers. Yeah. There's a scene in the middle of the film, which is because Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. He's there. Sorry about this.
Don't worry.
They're separated, like a great thriller. They're separated for the entire film, and they meet twice, once at the end and once in the middle. And it takes place at a restaurant in LA. It's a great scene. It's one of the great pieces of screen acting you can hope to watch. There it is. There's a picture of it. It's like it's a mutual recognition of each other. Anyway, so there's a bit where they sit and have coffee and have tea and talk about stuff. I'm going on, I apologize. Anyway, so Al Pacino, at one point, Al Pacino says this. He goes, so... we're sitting here like a couple of regular fellas. I mean, you do what you do, I do what I gotta do. If I'm there and I gotta put you away, I won't like it. But if it's between you and some poor bastard whose wife you're gonna turn into a widow, brother, you are going down. And then Michael Mann cuts back to the esteemed gentleman at the end of the sofa. What if you do got me boxed in? I'm not gonna put you down. We've been face to face. Yeah. But I will not hesitate. Not for a second. That's my... This is so meta. I feel like I've gone into a parallel universe where
You're playing all these parts.
Yes, I apologize.
No, that's great.
Yeah, I did an impression of Ken Branagh.
That was my favorite scene in the
Was it
movie.
your favorite scene?
Yeah.
It's a
Still?
great...
Yeah. No, but my favorite scene that was written before, not because of doing it, but my favorite scene written in the film.
Yeah.
You know, that
It's a great piece of writing.
Yeah, great.
It feels like it plays in two singles in a way. Like
Yeah,
it just,
yeah,
and
yeah.
And it's like the most beautiful game of tennis.
Did you each do lots of takes? Did you do lots of
I
takes?
forget how many takes we did. I don't think we did more than 5 to 8 or 9 at the most. Maybe less.
And you talk about your dreams and you talk about your life. It's so great. It's so great. There's that bit, another bit where you go. Well, you know, he says, Pacino says, so you never wanted a regular type life. and Bob. May I call you Bob?
Yeah.
Bob says, what's that, barbecues and ball games? Yeah.
Now, Tom Hiddleston's a new film called Crimson Peak. It's out on the 16th of October. And I imagine this movie is like a dream for an actor because it's such a big, gothic melodrama with kind of fights and frights. It's fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It was, for me, it was a chance to work with Guillermo del Toro, who I think is a master. It is a gothic romance. So it's true to gothic romance in that there is a beautiful, radiant, pure-hearted heroine played by Mia Wasikowska, who is sensational in it. And she's drawn to the tall, dark stranger with the crumbling mansion on the hill. And it's sort of like she's Elizabeth Bennet and I'm Mr. Darcy, but when she gets back to the house, it's full of some crazy shit. and
your sister.
And my sister, played by Jessica Chastain, who I know you had on this very sofa last week.
Yes, and actually, she was walking off the set, and I said to her, "Oh, I saw you in Crimson Peak," and she was, "Oh, I'm so bad now." I know you were going to. No, I play a bad person. Lucky I didn't go. Yeah. Zap you. Everyone misses sometimes, but
she's really off the deep end in this, which is new for her. She's fantastic in it too, and it really is about. It's about these polar opposites of sex and death. You know, these two completely opposite forces in our lives.
And I read unusually, as an actor, you negotiated, you lobbied for extra nudity.
Okay.
I'm trying to sell the film, Tom. Gothic romance, how are you? Hello.
Well, you know, gothic romance it's about sexuality. It has to be sexy. And there is a love scene in the film. And Guillermo is like, dude, it's time to get naked, man. You have to show the world your buns. I was happy to do it. We've discussed it often in these situations. The woman is more naked than the man, and we thought we would just redress the balance. There we go.
Little boners all round. Well, let's watch a clip. This is you returning with your new bride to the family seat.
Okay.
Goodness, how many rooms are there?
I don't know. Would you like to count them? What do you think? Does it look the part?
It does. Although it's even colder inside than out.
I know, it's a disgrace. We try to maintain the house as best we can, but with the cold and the rain, it's impossible to stop the damp and erosion. And with the mines right below, well, the wood is rotting and the house is sinking.
We are about to hear our musical act.
Graham, people do impressions of you, don't they?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
What, am I in your canon?
No. I mean, I haven't. It's like I feel like I wouldn't be able to do it until I've met you, but I have. Do you want me to do it?
You clearly. Go, try. Go.
I don't know. So, can I have the cards? I need the cards.
Okay. You can have an old card.
No, don't worry.
You can have an old card.
There's an old card.
There you go. There you go.
So, welcome back. You've never been on the show.
Is that okay? Yeah. I feel your pain, Bob.
First time. There's only a first time for everything.
Now, but impressions are a thing that actors do. Kenneth Branagh, you do an impression.
I do a bad impersonation of Sir Ian McKellen. As Gandalf. You shall not pass. Wemnon, Kremnon, Flemnom, and Dang Dong. You will not pass. Wing Dong, Bang Dong, Column and Gollum. You shall definitely not pass. That's as far as it goes. Sorry about that.
I think you'd be flattered by that. I don't do an impression of Ian McKellen, but I was in Waitrose, the supermarket here, and they have those self-service checkouts. So I was at the other checkout, and Ian McKellen, I said hello to him earlier, he was wandering around with a basket, and I was chewing it. And then just from over in the self-service area, you just heard this booming voice going, "It's in the bag!" But...
This is not a cucumber, it's an aubergine.
But Anne Hathaway, you also do an impression.
I do Britney Spears.
No, see?
This is an oldie but a goodie. Okay. Oh, baby, baby, how was I supposed to know that something wasn't right here? Oh, baby, baby, I shouldn't have let you go. Now you're out of sight.
Right, it is music time. This group are the first British country band to have an album in the top 10. Performing all over again from their new album, Brave, please welcome the Shires.
Back when you were younger and the summer would last forever. Looking at you, loving you, that's the way you made me feel. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Looking too caught up in all that stuff we call life. It's just you and me right now. I think I'm falling in love with you all over again. I think I'm falling in love with you all over again. When you look in my eyes and it's like the first time you gave me your heart and you just keep giving me more. I think I'm falling in love with you all over again. Yeah, back when I didn't know every little thing about you, and I was figuring out, finding out what to do to make you smile. Yeah, whoa, whoa, whoa. We've been too caught up in all that stuff we call life. It's just you and me right now. I think I'm falling in love with you all over again. I think I'm falling in love with you all over again. When you look in my eyes and it's like the first time you gave me your heart and you just keep giving me more. I think I'm falling in love with you all over again. You know you're my baby. No, I've not told you lately, but there's something about the way you look tonight. I think I'm falling in love with you all over again. I think I'm falling in love with you. I think I'm falling in love with you all over again. I think I'm falling in love with you all over again. When you look in my eyes and it's like the first time you gave me your heart and you just keep giving me more. I think I'm falling in love with you. I think I'm falling in love with you. I think I'm falling in love with you all over again. All over again. All over again.
The Shires, everybody! Beautiful job. Come and join us, do. Mind yourself. Come and meet everybody. Is it Chris or Chrissy? Chrissy and Ben. Yeah? Chrissy and Ben. That's Chrissy and Ben. Chrissy and Ben from the Shires.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you. That Robert De Niro?
Yes.
Oh, no, don't fall off. Shut down, Bob. I don't want to lose you at this stage. Now, that is from the new album, Brave, which is out now, which has been a big success.
Yeah, it's been, it's crazy, isn't it, really? Yeah, the first UK country act ever to go top 10.
It sounds so weird that you speak with English accents. Where are you singing? And so in America, people must be so surprised when you talk.
Yeah, because we've got British accents and we sing about British things as well, so yeah.
But with a country twang.
Yeah, we
do. I always do my best, sort of Love Actually. You know, get to the bar and it's like, I'll have a pint of beer, please.
And did you know you could do that kind of, that country twang?
Yeah, I mean, I've been singing country music since I was tiny. My gran taught me all the old songs and I just absolutely loved it, so...
She can actually do anything with her voice. It's really weird. I've heard your impressions earlier.
Yeah, we heard your impressions earlier, and
so
I
you can
thought
do a kettle.
I might be able to, yeah.
I can
do a kettle.
Do a kettle? But we have... We've got a lot of celebrities, no utensils. We haven't a single utensil. Go on, let's have a kettle. Good luck with the album and the tour. Ladies and gentlemen, the Shires. Thank you. Now, just before we go, we've got time for to the big red chair. So who's there? Hello, nice lady.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Lauren.
Lauren?
Yeah.
So off you go with your story.
All right, so I'm sorry, but this story is going to put someone on the spot on that stage. I'm one of 3 girls. About 10 years ago, I was on holiday in Dublin, checking into Dublin International Airport. And my 11-year-old sister starts watching someone check in. And she runs up to this person and says, "Oh my God, are you Anne Hathaway?" And then turns around, whips off her sunglasses and says, "Hi, you can call me Annie." And then, you know, proceeds to interact and talk to all of us, asking how our holiday is, posing pictures with us. It was so nice and it was so lovely, and that would have been a really great story had it ended there. However, after Anne left, my mother then just started crying hysterically about how nice Anne Hathaway was, all through check-in, all through security, who naturally, none of these people had any context and naturally thought she was batshit crazy. Thank you, Anne, for being so lovely and nice and for making my mom cry.
That's like the nicest story ever. Ties into the film. It's just like everyone's lovely. It's just like a lovely thing. No, they were so nice. My mother cried. Mind you, maybe the girls were all just bitches. She's like, why couldn't my daughters been like her? Very good. If you'd like to join us on the show and have a girls' lecture, you can. Just contact us via our website at this very address. Huge thank you to my guest tonight, the Shires, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Hiddleston. Kenneth, Branagh! Anne Hathaway! And Mr. Robert De Niro! Join me next week with British star Kerry Mulligan, Australian Oscar winner Nicole Kidman, and global superstar Meryl Streep. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye!